Hey, how we doing? Hey, that anime, how are you? Welcome. Just turn my camera flap on. Hi, I am still kind of setting up, but I think we're ready to go enough that we can just jump on it. Just setting a couple moments up. My rig is a little bit different today. There we go. Hey there, Feely, welcome in. How you doing? Welcome both to a Warhammer 40k build and paint stream, in which we are going. I also have a BRB, just in case I go for a wee. We are going to build us this little gribbly dude here, and then we're going to paint him up in a single stream. Why is there deodorant on my desk? I don't need that there right now. Go away. But yeah, that's the objective. We're going to build this guy, and then we're going to paint him up. Right. All in one go. BGM for this stream on. I've got a little OST to go with what we're doing, so let me get it playing. There we go. Yeah, dramatic music to destroy the legions with. But yeah, I'm sorry about what's going on with vertical, guys. It should have been coming out on my vertical camera. Something's gone wrong with OBS. I don't know what. I'm going to have a look at that tomorrow and try and fix it. But anyway, should we jump on in? By the way, I'm just going to turn my headphones down a bit. It looks like it's coming through a bit loud. Is the audio okay in the background? It's meant to be like background noise. Oh, I need to do this, don't I? Hold on. Let's pop this box. Hold on. It's good. Okay, good. Alright, here we go again. There's the sprues. There's the instructions. And there's the base. Now, let me just show you something real quick. I'm gonna throw the box over there. I've already built 3 of these. I've got another one boxed up, which I'm gonna do the open mouth conversion with at some point. But let me just show you first. This was the first one I did. This was like the test run. It's not complete yet. There's a lot to do because, like, as you can see, the flesh is not painted. This was like to test out the purple on the carapace and the gold trim. It didn't come out so great on this model, but I've perfected the technique since. And then the scheme that we're going to do is this one. So it's like this is the yellow one. This is a bit more complete. A little bit more complete, this one. Still got a lot to do on it, but this was like the second test, so I'm hoping that the one we do tonight is going to kind of complete everything. And then I do have another one downstairs which is ready to paint, but that's kind of, pending. Before we get too far into it, I'll show you some of my other stuff. Hey there, Ixie, welcome in, how you doing? But yeah, I've got this guy in the same sort of scheme. So that's a Blightlord Terminator with the Plague Spewer and a Bale Sword. So he's got yellow armor, a little bit of purple trim, and then the sash is in purple. It's kind of like an Imperial Fist style where it's almost all yellow. The trim on this guy is almost entirely yellow as well. Then For the Death Shroud, it's kind of similar, except they've got more of the purple on the actual trim bits then. So, yes. Yeah. And then the Plague Marine scheme is purple with yellow trim. So yeah, I was pretty happy with how this came out as well. Pretty happy with how that one came out. But yeah, let's get this thing built, shall we? It should be easy enough. This is a pretty straightforward kit to build. Just got to remind myself, like, yeah, we do the body first, don't we? And then when I paint it, what I'm going to do is we are going to be using some Vallejo Mecha Color Black Primer all over the model. We're going to get it fully primed up on top, then flip it, prime it on the bottom. Then, for the purposes of painting the top, it's much easier to base it for that bit. And then what we can do is we can like pop it off the base to do detail on the underside if we need to, right? So, let's get this lad going. I've been looking forward to this all day, you know. I actually went downtown and bought some more paint from my my local shop. Fun story. I think the guy at the store is a puffster. Because at one point, right, let me just get my brushes a second. Hold on. So I bought these two brushes today. So we've got a... this one is Army Painter highlighting. This is super detail. But this came without the plastic sleeve. So I was like, I'll have to slide it down there and just like, you know, that. And he said, oh, make them touch tips. And I'm just like, touch tips? Penny Puffball? Touch tips? Nanda. A little bit saucy. After the primer, we need to do a base paint. Yes. So the base paint, I'll talk you through the method as I go, but this is what I use for my base, like for almost the entire model. Rakarth Flesh base, and then, in fact, let me pull this model up here. It's easier if I show you. So the carapace and then the flesh at the back, that's all based in Rakarth Flesh. And then the mechanical bits underneath, so the tracks, and then this, like, mechanical butt he's got. That is based in Leadbelcher. So I've got broadly three areas that get done as part of this. And as part of that process, there's two different base coats, and then I kind of go through each section as its own kind of thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, I always do a base coat. So prime, base coat, and then the method I've had the best success with has been adding in my my metallic yellow as like the base color layer. There we go. Yeah, I've not done a wash as like, or a contrast as like my second layer. I do contrast stuff as the starting point on like the fleshy bits, but for the carapace itself, and like for anything metal, I just kind of like to go in pretty much just, you know, straight in with the okay. So yeah, so these posts here, I think we want to just trim those down a bit, don't we? Yeah, so we'll trim these down a bit. Contrast paint, yeah, I do use contrast paint, but the method for what I do is going to vary depending on which part of the model we're doing. So the carapace does not get contrast first. The carapace actually gets a layer of metallic first. The flesh will get contrast. So I'll show you now. The contrast I use for the fleshy bits is it's a mixture of Gilliman flesh and Plaguebearer flesh. So the Plaguebearer flesh goes on first, then you splotch on Gilliman flesh, then you add a little bit of Berserker Bloodshade to add some bruising, then you do another layer of, very thin layer of Plaguebearer flesh over the top of that for this, and it comes out absolutely gross. Like, it's genuinely disgusting. It makes me want to vomit a little bit. It makes me want to throw up in my own mouth. Okay, so that's that. Do I have my file somewhere? I was playing the other day, wasn't I? Okay. Right, there we go. So now these should... They should just kind of slot in together, huh? Yeah, that's the other bit we need to do, is we need to trim that other post down slightly. So let me just... Curious. Bro's a little bit stuck. What's happened there? Hold on. Huh? That's not right. You know what? Oh, I think I see. Hold on. Right, okay, let me get the glue on this. You banned 45 advertising bots. My god. I mean, I'll be real. Stuff like that is kind of like the same reason that I nuked my own Discord server. Right, hold on. My glue ain't gluing so good. 15 minutes. Holy shit. Hang on, I might need to declog this a little bit. What's happened there? That is like... Yeah, it's liquid. I guess there's some stuff stuck in the birthing tube, huh? Oh, alright. 9 bots a minute. Holy shit, that is clank maxed. Jeez, I don't envy that. Do not envy that one little bit. Okay. Right. Let me just make sure this is actually coming out. There we go. Right, so... Just going to make sure that this is glued together here. Yeah, the bits when I've trimmed them down haven't really played nice with me, so this might be a bit jank, but I think I can make it work. Oh yeah, perfect. Right, so we just need now to get the main body dried off, and then that'll be good. Put the glue there. Yeah, so we're just putting the main body together. That's always the first step with this model. Then the gribblies go on underneath. I'm going to build this completely before. Since it was your server, you don't care. Yeah, I feel that. I think for me, the reason I just kind of nuked my own server was that, like, genuinely, at that point, it was just bots coming in all the time. I just got so fed up. I was like, you know what, no. I'm just done with this. Right, okay. Yeah, there is a bit of unfortunate overspill on the glue there, so it has kind of smeared onto this. But the beauty of Death Guard is that because Nurgle loves filth and contagion, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's actually joined up pretty nicely. So while that's drying, let's get the next bit on. Oh, that's my palette, by the way. It's a bit grubby, but yeah, it'll do the job. It's one of the Green Stuff World ones that, like, it pops in and out, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so next it wants us to do this, the under gribblies, right? Wait, oh, feck! Oh, no, I've done this wrong. Hold on. Ah, shit. No, I fucked up big time, guys. I didn't put the track in. Oh, no. Urgh. Come apart, my little guy. There we go. We've salvaged it. We've salvaged it. That was really close. Like, almost... There's a part that I'd missed. It's track number 2. Where is it? Point 2. Wow, I'm so dumb. I think it's this one. Yeah, it is. How the fuck did I miss that? It literally says there to do it. It's like, oh, they'll put the body together first, it'll be fine. And it's like, I've almost fucked this model. Wow, I mean, I'm glad I bought a second one, you know. Because, like, that's almost been me just, like, pissing away an entire model kit. Yikes. Not my best move. Okay. Yeah, this needs to go in here, doesn't it? Pretty sure that's where that goes. No? Oh, no, I've... Are you kidding? I am having a nightmare. This easy to build model kit, I've snipped off the mounting claw. Oh my god, what am I doing? It's okay, we can fix that. We can fix that. Pretty sure we can anyway. Okay, while we've got him fully open, let's just make sure that's done. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to try and mount the mounting foot on again. This is what we call hubris, children. Because old Uncle Shinsu thought he knew better because he made this model kit a few times before, and he got big-headed about it, right? And in doing so, he almost destroyed his kit. There we go. Right, okay. Let's try that again, shall we? Yeah. Okay. Where's my guides? There we are. Okay. This time. This one needs a bit more force because I pulled it. Okay, this one, I'm going to have to hold this end quite tightly. I mean, the thing is, if any of the plastic does kind of, like, melt a little bit, then that's fine because, you know, Papa Nurgle and all that. Oh, wow, yeah, I've really done a number on this rear bit, haven't I? It's fine. So we just need to hold this in place now. I went, yeah? Yeah, because Ixie on the Twitch side said, yeah. Just making sure this bit at the end kind of properly connects, because otherwise we get this like nasty, you see that nasty little gap there. There we go. Right, so let's just push that down until that dries a bit. While that's going, now we want to get that gribbly bit out. We probably want to try and reattach the thing is, if we try and attach the mounting foot, I don't think it's going to work so good. We might just have to, like, traditionally glue the back tread down onto the base when we're ready to, like, fully base this thing. That's my error. I fucked up. Multiple times. We've not even been streaming for 20 minutes. Like, I was almost tempted to bin this kit off and just get the other one out and start over. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is taking a bit of getting together. I mean, I do have some milliput if we need to kind of, like, do that instead. But I'd prefer not to. Okay. There we go. I mean, it should eventually take. It's just kind of a case of forcing it together. If it doesn't, we'll just like fill it in later, right? You know, I've done that on the other models and it came out okay, so should be fine. Okay, give it a couple of moments. Why is it always like? Why does my camera? Like, I put my hand there, and the color key goes a bit jaundiced. That's really weird. Oh, strange. Right, yeah, it's taking about as well as it can do, so that'll do. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Okay, so the Gribblies underneath are next. So. Let's... I'm taking out more of it this time just because I'm conscious that I've messed up quite significantly multiple times with this model on one stream, which is quite embarrassing, I'll be honest. Okay. Yep. Get that gone. He's taken a little bit of damage off of my pliers there, but again, that's fine because Nurgle. You know, the grandfather is okay with a bit of grime and grub and gribbly bub. Okay. Yeah, so this is where his this is where his butt gonna sit. So let's get his butt popped down. Yeah, if I'd have forgotten the wheels, then I suppose the only other thing would have been to turn this guy into like a kind of like doubly messed up bloat drone. I have got one bloat drone left to finish actually. That's for another time though. Oh, let's also put a bit on here. Yep, there we go. Okay. There we are. Right, there we go. That bit went on much less painfully. I dropped it. Whoopsie doopsie. Yeah, that's the bit I've knocked off. Do you see there's supposed to be a little peg there, which holds it onto the base. So you got the 3 bits of the base here, and it would go like this. So what we'll do is when we're ready to base it, we'll just glue that bit down. Like when it's like fully done, it gets glued down there. So next, we want to make the track assemblies. Okay. I mean, the model itself is pretty straightforward to build if you're not really stupid like me. And it's cheap as well. Like for Warhammer, it's very cheap. I think the only model I can think of which is a little bit cheaper, or like of equivalent price anyway, is probably like the Gretchen Squad. That's like, I think it's like 15 quid for 20 Gretchen or something like that. I have been tempted by the orcs. Like, I might do them as like a... If I was to do a second army, it would probably be orcs. They just seem like a lot of fun. Okay, there we are. So, is this the same side? There's an easy way to find out. We need to get this bit gone first. Okay. So we got 5 and 8. Now, that's... Paradoxically, it's this one we want to do. Okay. There we go. Where did I say the sauce for the chicken is? On the table, my love. It's on the table. It should be in front of the you know roughly where that that tray is. The other oven tray, the glass one, should be there. Also, hi wife. Welcome to my stream. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The wife, yes, she's here. She's here and she's hungering. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's much more sensible now. Okay. So, we want to put a little bit more on here. You approve? Excellent. Okay. Okay. There we are. So that's that one. Yeah, it will never not amuse me that wife comes into my stream. Like, normally it's when she needs something. She doesn't want to come up and knock on the office door because she doesn't like to disturb me when I'm mid-stream. So she'll just come into the stream and just say, hey, where's this, that, or the other? We love to see it, though. Like, any time I see my wife is a good time. Ah. Okay. Let's get this off. Yeah, then this is going to go there. Yes. Okay. Right, and same again. I'm going to dab a bit there. Run some of that over there. Okay. There we go. That's the track assemblies. For each side. Okay, so does it want me to add these in now? I think it does actually, you know. Looks like it. Yeah, that's right, because they go on the outside and the motor bit on the inside. Okay. Okay. Going for a painting marathon? I don't think a marathon. I'm going to be painting, like, at least this one model, which I've already messed up the build of, like, quite significantly. At least 3 times. I forgot to put this back track in, so I had to kind of pull that bit open and re-add that. So, yeah, that was not my finest hour. But the Great Father approves. You know, he's... He says as long as his Gribbly comes out kind of gross and disgusting, he's fine with it. I'm just like, thank you, Grandpa. Thank you, Grandpa. Yeah, it'll just be this one model. But it's probably going to take me a while to paint, because I'm still quite new to the whole painting bit. Okay, next is the... Oh, we need to build the Next, we need to build the top carapace. Ah, you're still out at the minute. No worries, no worries. Yeah, appreciate it, though, man. Oh, and congrats on winning the sweater contest as well, by the way. Nice one. Okay. There we go. Hmm. Oh. Yeah, there was a bit there, wasn't there? I tell you what, it's very hot in here with all these lights on. There we go. Almost makes a man want to have a quick swig of some refreshment. So if you don't mind, give me a second. Today we have this beer. Yeah, this is, let me just lean around and grab it. Vault City Mini Chocolate Egg Chocolate Snout. We'll see what it's like. It just tastes like a chocolate stout. I'll be real. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I'm absolutely okay with that. Okay. So we want to get the multi-melter bit out next. So we have to kind of put this together before we slot it in there. So if this bit goes in, then the front carapace goes on, and then we're ready to give it a couple of moments, and then we'll slap some primer on it. Okay. Yeah, the easy build models are like genuinely, actually not that bad to build, you know. So we'll get these bits glued in. Like, I know that they're supposed to go through without glue, but I just find that knowing what I'm like with delicates, if I was to try and not glue something, I know it would just go badly for me. Okay. So, the multi-melter is going together. There we are. I believe that wants to go like, yeah, like that. Okay. So we can do this at the same time as well. So let's get the glue on there. Which one of my monitors feeding back? Shouldn't be. Okay. Right, so... There we go, so the multi-melter component is in. It's a shame you don't have a bit more freedom to choose which side it goes into, but the mounts are very specific on which bit goes where, which is a little unfortunate. It would have been nice if you could choose which side it goes into. I mean, no doubt kit bashers have worked that out. Ooh, we're going on to our next bit of music, are we? If anyone can tell me where the music in my stream is from, you'll get some brownie points. Okay, there we go. So that's all there. Okay, that bit on the rear tread is not looking so good, but we roll with it. Right. So this now needs to go onto the top bit, doesn't it? Okay. Okay, there we are. So the top part of the carapace is on. Now this was always the bit that fucked me up in the build, is getting the main faceplate on. Right. You're banned from wargames for life. Apparently equipping your mods with functional flamethrowers is an issue for some people. What? That's not fair. Were you at least playing the Adeptus Sororitas when this happened? I know they're pretty big on, like, burn the heretic and all that junk. Right, look, Sprue's empty already. Nice. So getting the model itself built in, like, 45 minutes. You weren't playing Sororitas. Who were you playing as? Please tell me that you were at least playing as one of the forces which, like, really likes flamethrower weaponry. Like, maybe the Salamanders or something? Okay. Right, now, this is the tricky bit. We have to make sure... I'm just going to pull this up to my chest a minute. This is the bit in the model build I don't enjoy, is putting the face on. Okay, there's one. Nope, still not quite right. Oh, I speared myself with a spiky bit. The worst bit is he's still not, like, properly in. Is he? No, he is. There we go. He's made. He's complete. My Gribbly is constructed. Yay! Woo! Okay, so... make sure that's pushed down good and tight. Yeah, so the loss of the back peg is not disastrous. Like, it's annoying, but it's not a disaster, because we still have the bulk of the model to do stuff. Let me just turn this fan on over here, because I'm roasting hot here. I've got multiple lights on me at once. In fact, I think I'm justified doing this, because you guys ain't going to see anything. Let's get... I'm sorry, I have to take the t-shirt off. Okay. I hope this music's not causing like any copyright issues. You know, it's from the Girls Frontline OST, so it should be fine. Because like, I know that Sarah and that all streamed this event when it was live. Bear with me. I'm just checking something real quick. Right. Okay. No, it should be fine. Okay. No, whatever. Right, so everything is down secure, everything is tight. I mean, the back is as tight as it's going to get, right? So I guess now we can get shot of the instructions. Whee! And we can get some painting going. So for the primer, I am going to use my dry brush has seen better days, I'll be real. I'm going to use my standard brush for the priming, this one. So... what we're going to do is we'll kind of go over it in segments, right? So, As before, we have Vallejo Mecha Color Primer in black. So we'll just like dollop a bit of that there. And then we want to just get like a thin coat over this. Not too much, but like, you know, we don't want it to kind of turn out to be like, you know, slap chop or whatever, you know. Normally, if I was painting a mini, I would be spray paint. I'd be doing this with a spray can. But for the purpose of my room, I can't really use a can in here because, you know, aerosol. So yeah, hopefully this is going to go okay. So I've not primed a full mini with this. I've done some touch-ups on one. As long as the actual like main coat of the primer is fine, it should be okay. And the primer does dry pretty quickly as well, which is nice. There we go. Yeah, it's not the... The coverage is definitely not the best compared to, say, if I was doing this with a spray can, but that's almost certainly on me. I need more. I need quite a lot more, actually. The blessed infection now flows through me. Superb. Thank you, grandfather. I think I worked out what happened with my Green Stuff World wash as well, by the way. Apparently you're meant to poke those things through with like a needle before you open them. And I did not do that. No, I absolutely did not do that. No, I just kind of like shook it and squeezed because I didn't know that about having to... I just thought it was the same as the other paints where, you know, you open it, you shake it a bit, you squeeze it a bit, and that was that. Well, it turns out that's not the case for those specific ones. So, more fool me, I guess. Okay. Is there enough light on this? Do you need a bit more? Hold on. Yeah, that gives you a bit more to see. Okay. Then any bits that we miss while we go through with the priming coat, what we'll do is we'll just kind of come back to that as we go, right? Okay. Yeah, I mean that primer is actually coming out like decently at least. You know, the coverage is maybe not as good as I would like, but that is almost certainly a me problem and not the primer problem because, you know, hand painting on primer, well, maybe a little suboptimal. You know, normally you would only do this for like touch-ups. So doing an entire model this way is contrary to standard methodology, I believe. I mean, I'm at least enthused as to, you know, the general consistency of the paint. It's pretty good in that respect. It's just going to be on me to make sure that I get every gribbly little nook and cranny on this lad. And that's the one problem with choosing Chaos as your first army, is there's loads of gribbly bits, you know? Okay. Yes, flip him over. Do the backs there. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I mean, the primer coat is going on pretty fast and easy, really. I mean, it's because it's just a fact you could just chuck it over the top of the entire bleeding model. It is easy in that respect. Making it good later, that's the challenge. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I forget exactly how good Vanguard's soundtrack for this game was. Like, this is a free-to-play mobile... Girls Frontline, free-to-play mobile game, right? The OST has no reason to slap as hard as it does, but, like... You know, Yuzhong, firstly, got Vanguard Sound to do the OST. And then... Not just that, but... You know, they made it very memorable. You know, it's one of those OSTs that, like, I will still, even though I quit the game a few years back, because I just got tired of it, I'll be honest. I think the thing was, like, there's only so much of the same gameplay that you can take for 5 years. And then the events started getting more and more complicated, more and more time-consuming. It just got to a point where I was just like, if I want to keep on playing this game, I'm going to have to give something else up, which I didn't really want to do. Whereas Uma, I can just, like, you know, pop on for an hour a day, be done with it. Like, the events in Girls Frontline, if you want to get through them, you have to be prepared to put a bit of a time investment in. It is on Steam now, though, so I could always go back to it at some point, I suppose. See if I can log into my old account. It'd be interesting to see if it's still there. Yeah, this Prime's pretty good. Right, we'll give it a second to dry, though. Give it a quick second to dry off. What are the other advantages to having that fan there? Is that I can pretty much, like, you know, for this bit, for instance, the fan is, like, there. It's just ahead of me there. So I can put stuff in front of it and just leave it there to dry for a minute. And it will dry pretty fast, actually. Yeah, what we do after this step is we're gonna slap chop some Rakar flesh over most of it, and then we do that first, and then on the underside we put a base of lead belcher on. We dry it, then we put it on the base because then we can use the painting handle much more easily. So yeah, that's basically dry. I think I want to say that's dry. Pretty much. So now we can get into those other bits that we didn't really do properly earlier. I mean, some of these bits are going to be hidden anyway. Like, you know, the underside of the tracks, they'll be pretty hidden. But we still want to make sure it gets a solid primer coat. So it'll make all the painting a lot easier later. Okay. Okay. I think that was pretty done. Oh, a couple of bits at the back on that. Ah, and then the instep of the wheels. Yeah. Right, there we go. The priming is done. Okay, let's get that brush cleaned off. So we need to give this a minute to properly dry. So the next bit is, like we said, we're going to be basing the carapace and the flesh in Rakarth flesh, and then the metal components get based in Leadbelcher, right? So, just going to check something real quick. Oh, I see. Right, okay. Yeah, once this is dried off, I think we're going to do the Rakarth flesh first, because the Leadbelcher you could just paint on normally. The Rakarth flesh is going to be slap chop. So, actually, doing the Leadbelcher first is probably easier, because then we can put it on the base. Now, let's do that. Because if we can pop him onto his base... That's basically dried off now, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, there's a bit that escaped. Hold on. Actually, inside the missile launcher as well. Didn't get a coat. Hold on. I think there's a few bits. No, that looks... Yeah, that's done. Okay. Good. Right, we'll just put that round that way so we can get the benefit of drying off. Right. A raccoon car? Nanda. No, he's a gribbly little guy. Yeah, he's a Discord moderator. That's what he does. If anyone tells Miffy that I said that, then I'm gonna get in trouble. The old Mifty bonker, you know. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's just check a couple things real quick. Right, okay. Yeah, it should be fine. Because the thing is, there's only a few bits we actually are going to be doing in Leadbelcher. So as long as this brush is clean. Yes. Okay. There are still a couple of bits that have escaped the... No, they should be nominally fine. We could just, like, chop a little slap over them, and they'll be right. So I hope they will. Yeah, that's fine, actually. No, it's not. The back of his... Every time I think I've gribbled all of his groobles, there's another bit that comes up. It's like, hey, you need to do this as well. Nurgle doesn't want us to use a clean brush. You know what? Yeah, that's true. He just wants gribble grubble. You know, groom and gribble. Okay. Oh, there's a bit there in his bum which escaped basing actually, or priming, I should say. There we go. Yeah, you can look at his undercarriage for a minute. Oh my, that is lewd. That's very lewd. If you want to know what I'm doing over here, I've just got a bit of blitz, just to get a shot of the excess moisture. Okay. Right, okay. So, we can definitely, like, start on the undercarriage now. So we're going to do that. Alright? Yeah, so we want to get this on, like, relatively thick. Because this is the only part where we're doing, like, the specific undercoat. Because everywhere else in his underside, you know, all the flesh bits, they will be done in their own colour. We want to do the tracks as well with lead belcher. So let me just pull this over so you can see what I'm doing a bit better. Yeah, you can use lead belcher as a primer as well, actually. We also want to do... I think those two teeth are mechanical. Go. And get into his toesies a bit there. You make sure these arms are done as well. Okay. It's a bit too thick in places, but that's alright. Grandpa's alright with that. Right, okay. Yeah, looks pretty good. Okay. So we'll leave that to dry for a moment, because we can always like touch up bits of that as we go. But the lead belcher undercoat on the underside of the model is like kind of important. So now we gotta chop some slap. So to do this, we're going to get our dry brush. Oh, carefully open this Rakarth flash. Okay. And we're going to get ourselves a nice fat big dollop on the brush. Going into there. Now we basically want to get this so that the brush is coming off like near enough like dry at the tips. So that looks decent there. Okay. So I think we get him on the base for now. Just so he's a bit more pliable and a bit easier to work with. Right. There we are. Then into the handle he goes. There we go. Right. Now we can chop some slap. So, again, this should be... As long as my brush actually still does what it's meant to. Mostly. Yeah, this brush is kind of bollocks. I should have picked up a new dry brush today as well, but, you know, we live, we learn. I think it might be better if I don't. The problem with this brush is it's like it's really kind of like gribbled outwards a lot. So the coverage is like actually kind of bad. Don't know how I did it to the brush either. Yeah, let's just put that down for now. So, you know. That's a little better. Yeah, yellow over over the top of Rakarth. Like, metallic yellow over the top of Rakarth flesh actually comes out, like, decently. There we go. Then any bits that don't come out quite right, yeah, we just go over with another bit of basing, you know. Rakarth flesh is actually really good as a base, because, like, for the colours I use at least, it really does help them to pop. There's only a few bits on the upper carapace we're not going to put it on. Like, the vast bulk of this we want, yeah, we want it to be, you know, like, there, very present, not really streaking. Okay. There's a few bits we're going to have to pop him off the base to get to, but that's, you know, that's all part of the plan. Trust the method. Trust the method, guys. Okay. We need more paint. Okay. That's easily enough achieved. Okay. Okay. This painting handle, honestly, is one of the best purchases I've made. It really does make painting just incredibly easy. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. We just got to be careful it doesn't go on too thick, you know. Well, there's a couple of points there that looks like it's a little thin. Ooh, what's next in my rotation? Ooh, granular assembly. Nice. This used to be a ringtone for a bit. Back during the COVID days. Because back then, Singularity, the event was running. I remember Singularity was actually running, like, I was at work in the office, you know, running the event on my lunch breaks. And then, no, that's not right. The Singularity was not running when COVID hit. It kind of was. It was running when it hit over in China. And then it was, Continuum Turbulence started, I think, around the time of lockdown. Lockdown was weird, man. Like, I remember getting cabin fever on the very first day of it, and then after that I was just completely fine. And I've never quite recovered my, my, you know, social battery since. You know, it's always been a little bit, limited since that point. I don't know how to describe it, really. Okay. Oh, looks pretty good. Now, I'm putting a bit on the lower mandible as well. Largely because we're going to want to smear some blood on that soon and some filth. I think the base coat is, like, mostly done there. There's a couple of points to just kind of go over. But generally, I'm pretty happy with that. A few points on this weapon side we need to do. Oh, the underside needs basing, actually. And the back of the actual weapon. And then the actual... Oh, this side as well. All over here. But the actual multi-melter part itself is going to be lead belcher, just because I get better effects if I use a metallic base for that bit. Generally, any sort of weapon except for missiles seems to benefit best from that. There. Right, okay. Whew. Let me just swig my coffee down, because I haven't had that yet, and we've been going for over an hour now. So my coffee is going to be cold. Yep, it's cold. Lovely. Alright. Yeah, we'll just let Fan-chan do his work. And we're also going to... The eye lens, you probably noticed I haven't done any base coat on that. We're going to put lead belcher in there as well. Alright, that should soak out through that. Yeah, this bit needs a minute or two to actually like settle, and while it does, we can go back over any bits that just need a tad of repair, like that. Yeah, so I mean the detail's all there, and it doesn't matter if it's all got a base coat on it, because, like, you know, there's some bits which are going to end up looking kind of gribbly anyway. It helps, but it's not strictly necessary, because we want some parts to come out looking kind of fucked up and minging anyhow. Yeah. Right, okay. So I think the next bit is going to be doing the carapace. So at least the first layer of the carapace coat, which is metallic yellow. And for that, we have this one, which is... Nope, that's one of my new ones. That's... ignore me, I'm talking bollocks. It's actually this one we use to start with, which is Warpaint's Greedy Gold. So yeah, that's where we'll start on that bit with. Okay, so we're just going to let that dry off for, I think, yeah, it's drying pretty quickly. We'll give it a couple of minutes, though. Right, we'll just make sure it's fully dried off. It's not really glistening so much. Okay. Ah! The hell? So give me a minute. My nose bleeding. Kind of. Curious. Well, no matter. No matter. Some pygmy. Oh, it's Henge. Okay. Yeah, it's Penny's birthday this weekend, isn't it? I tell you something, I'm still shook about the possibility that the guy from the hobby shop might be a puster. So, you know, if he is a puster, then blub to you, sir. Right. It's, yeah, that's pretty much dried now. Okay, so this section is straightforward enough. We are just going to do a layer coat of greedy gold over the carapace. We're going to try and avoid Nurgle's mark, so I'll avoid doing that, and I'll kind of go with the fine detail brush for that. But yeah, we want to avoid getting on the trim as we do this bit. And this won't look great to begin with. But what we then do is we go over with a layer of yellow speed paint. So, yeah, because the problem with the gold is it kind of like, it smears quite a lot. But that's actually, that's in line with what we want. And we're actually going to do a, we do a null wash at the end rather than at the start. Okay. Got a bit of gold onto Nurgle's mark, but that's alright. We're going to go over this with a metallic... We go over the mark with a metallic purple anyway. The metallic purple, actually the yellow base kind of helps it. No, actually, no, let's go over the mark with the yellow, because as long as we save the actual detail portion, it's actually fine, because the purple will override the yellow. Yeah. Okay. Hold on, need to shake this. Okay. Oh, that's a point. There we go. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. There we go. He's looking kind of like a disgusting banana already, isn't he? Which, to be fair, is kind of what we're going for. Okay. Now on the other ones, I've done the weapon casings in the same colours as the carapace, so I'll continue with that. But then the spiky trim is in the opposite mascot colour. Yeah, I've got to say, the Army Painter's speed paints, I heard different things from different people about these. Right, I heard some people saying they're really great, and I heard some people say they're terrible, don't ever use them. But so far, I mean, every Army Painter speed paint I've used, I've got pretty good results out of. I mean, at least I'm happy with them. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the main thing, isn't it? Oh, there's a big bit there that didn't get base coat, but a big enough dollop of this should make that fun. It's on the back of the model anyway, so... Yeah, my big challenge is going to be coming, well, soon-ish, I think, which is when I do the Lords, because the Lords are going to be metallic white with a mixture of lilac and golden trim. Why, I hear you ask? Well, that's because I'm a psychopath. I'm so fecked up and evil. Okay, that's pretty good coverage. I'd say that looks like the coverage is decent. I think. I'd say so, anyway. We do need to put, like... Yeah, we need to do the front casing of the melter as well. So for that, we're going to use the small detail brush, which is this one. A bit easy to get in on those finicky bits with this brush. Okay. Okay. There's a few like generic cables. There's some fleshy bits as well, but we've got some different tones to go with that. Okay. Yeah, that looks decent to start. Make sure we get all those recessed bits that are kind of hiding away from us as well. Mm-hmm. Yep. Right, okay. So that's the base, that's the metallic gold bit done. Right, pull him over here so you can see him a bit better. He's very shiny now. He's my shiny little gribbler. Okay. Right. I think probably the easiest thing for us to do next then is the yellow is still drying, so let's do some of his flesh next. So for the flesh, we want to start off with like I said, it's a blend we do for this bit. So we want some Plague Bearer flesh. Let's get us a new thingy, huh? Mix that in there. Excuse me. 100 poxes. Okay. We want some Gilliman flesh as well, but not quite as much as the Poxwalker flesh. Or the Plague Bearer flesh, I should say. So, like, just one big dollop of that, and that'll do us. Yeah, that looks horrid. Ugh. That looks absolutely disgusting. Okay. So these bits, basically... I'm going to smear that all over the flesh. And then in the middle of the mouth as well. Let's take some of that excess off. Yeah, Plague Bearer flesh and Gilliman flesh as a combo is foul. It just looks unbearably horrid. Right, so those restraint parts, we're going to do those in a bit, but it's just easier if we just base this whole area first. Look at that colour. That looks absolutely putrid. It's actually a blend I came up with myself as well. Like, I remember someone was saying that for their... I was looking for, like, yellow bloat drones, yellow blight-haulers. Someone was like, hey, mine is... They use Plague Bearer flesh and Skeleton Horde. And I was like, well, okay. I could, you know, feasibly... Yeah, I could see that. I could get behind that. Let's just make his mouth kind of gross, too. Go. So once this dries, the next thing is it gets a slightly more detailed coat of, you know, like splotchy Berserker Bloodshade. Yeah, that looks disgusting. Oh my god. And again, I kind of want to vomit. Yep. I wonder if I can make his spots really gross. I think I know what the recipe is for that, but... Okay. There we go. And there's a little bit of flesh there as well, so we're just going to get the fine detail. Okay. I think the... That wasn't great. I think the yellow is nearly done there. Was that dry? Not quite. So we'll go over some of the purple trim next then, because that's pretty easy. So the base coat for the purple trim is... which one is already open? One. The base coat for the purple trim is Green Stuff World Persian Violet Metal Colour. And again, we're just going to dollop this on. There we go. I actually really like the Green Stuff World Metal Colour. The yellow one, well, for yellow, it's not so great, but the purple one is really good. Really nice. Okay. Yeah, so we can just dab it on like this. Okay. Yeah, it's looking good, looking good. Okay. Yeah, looks pretty decent. I actually really like the juxtaposition of the metallic purple against the yellow. It's a really nice color combination. And I think it quite nicely glorifies our goose. Let's bring it a bit closer up to my face. The one problem with the metallics is that they're shiny. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, you see what I mean about the colour? Really, the purple really pops. Okay. Mm-hmm. What are we thinking, Ixie? I'm thinking this looked pretty good. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep, looking decent. And then we want to do the weapon trim as well. I actually kind of dread the day that I paint an army that is less metallic. I was always kind of tempted by Tyranids, you know. But I think the thing that keeps me from going for it is like this is purely personal preference, by the way, and I don't have beef with the reasoning for G-dubs doing it. But you know how they are all basically they're bugs carrying guns, and I much prefer the StarCraft approach of the bugs have like, you know, they have a pressurized thing inside the carapace, which, you know, launches like a spine or something. I mean, I just personally think that's a much better way to do it. What the hell was that? Give me a second, guys. Let's try this out here or something then. Okay. Yes. Let's just swing this over here a bit so I can lean in a bit more. Okay. Yeah, then we want to purple trim around the mouth as well, though. Just like that. Okay. Yeah, and I think for this bit we're going to switch to the probably the highlight brush. Like, this brush is mostly okay for what I want to do here, but okay. Looking pretty good. Okay, right, so let's get the highlight brush then. Haven't used this one yet. And we are going to basically, I'm going to pick out these markings in the purple. Okay. Just like that. The yellow is starting to dry out now, so we'll be ready to go back over that kind of semi-soonish. Bit there that escaped, bit there that escaped. Okay, let's do... Kind of want to do the inside of those bits with this as well. Okay. Yep. Okay. I quite like this brush, you know. It's much more finicky than my bigger brushes, but I mean, that's kind of the point, I guess, isn't it? It's so much easier to pick out the detail with this thing. Okay. I think that's pretty much all of the... Oh, no, we got these bits to do as well. So, I'm going to stick to this brush for now, just because I can... This bit here especially, I can get in much more easily. Okay. I tell you what, I really don't know why I didn't pick this hobby up sooner. I mean, I think I know the reason, because it's expensive. But, like, my Bezzy mate from when I was growing up, he used to play, I mean, he still got his collection, I think. but he used to play the game, and he suggested to me about it, and I was like, oh, maybe when I got the money. And then I started finding content from like Play on Tabletop, and pretty much the main reason I chose Death Guard actually was down to Tycho, the Child of Chaos, because you know a jolly bearded giant, you know, constantly going on about plagues, on poxes, on nerves. It's just like I am suspect to. I'm subject to influencing, let's say. And I mean also, like, I like the idea of the Death Guard generally, because they can fart anytime they want with no societal consequence, and I just think that's neat. You know? We missed a bit of yellow on the back plate there, actually, so let's get that while we can. Right, so that's the first layer on the trim done. Let's just get a bit on. I ripped this song off for my band. If my guitar player ever watches this stream, he'll hear this, but he's like, hang on, I recognise this drum pattern. It's like, yeah, mate, I've ripped it off for one of our songs. It's one of our more popular songs too. Whoops. Okay, so I think we're ready for the second yellow coat now. Yeah, that purple trim looks really good. Oh, there is one more bit we need to just quickly do on the missile casing. Like so. Yeah, that trim looks really good. That's clean. I love Mythoclast. It is one of my favourite pieces from the Ghost Frontline soundtrack. Like, it's just so menacing, you know? Wait for it. Here it comes. Fucking love it. I'm never going to live that down if anyone finds it. Okay, so we go back over the yellow next. Now for this, we use a slight blend, and for this we use speed paint, pastel yellow, and mazed yellow. So these are Army Painter. So the maze yellow is vivid yellow, pastel yellow is very light yellow. In practice, most of their yellows look kind of the same, but these ones specifically, they go into a really nice blend if you do like a 50-50 mix of them. And the best thing about speed paint is you don't have to worry about thinning them out either. There we go. You don't have to thin them out because they're designed to just like go. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's just like you spend less time painting and more time playing. But it's like, for me, the painting is kind of the meditative bit. So, yeah. Right. So, let's get that slapped on. And again, clean coverage is not really a strict necessity. We just want to make sure we don't go over the purple more than anything else. Okay, there we go. I do see a bit of purple trim we've missed, so we'll go back over that in a little bit as well. And then after we've gone over the carapace again, we're going to splotch up on the fleshy bits. Hello, I'm back. Yeah, wife needed a hand with something then, so, you know. Alright. Okay. God, how did Vanguard Sound do this? Like, why does a gacha game need a soundtrack that goes this hard? I think, for me... Oh, yeah, there's some other trim bits we probably want to go back over with the purple, but again, it's fine because we've got quite a lot of the metallic left, and... yeah, as you can see, it kind of comes out and there's, like, splotches of what almost looks like rust that end up coming through. Yeah, for a gacha game to have a soundtrack that goes this hard, it's just kind of nuts, you know? Okay. Okay. We need more. Do 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 do. We got a bit on the bony protrusions there, but that's fine. The bony protrusions actually are not terrible to get it on, because we're going to be going over those in some skeleton horde quite soon. Okay. Okay, so before I do the next bit, I'm just going to go back and just pick over those lines with some metallic purple again, so bear with. Okay. There we go. This week's looking pretty good for games as well. Well, I mean, I say this week, this year, because like we got Ground Zero is finally out on Thursday. Of course, I penciled it straight in for a day one stream. Now I'm gonna ego search really quickly something. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I was just checking, like, on the off chance that Malformation Games had noticed me enough to say, "Hey, do you want a copy of this?" But that would be incredibly big-headed of me. And like, honestly, I've been planning to buy it anyway. So like,
if they were to give me a copy, that would be nice, but, you know, it wouldn't impact on me playing the game. Because, well, you know, I mean, I was planning, you know, basically from the point you played the demo on stream, I've been planning to get it and then stream it in full when it comes out, so... Kind of the same as Real Face for VTube, you know, when that dropped, and
Jim from Lillian said, hey, here's a code for it. I was like, oh, sweet.
You know, I didn't expect it. I was extremely flattered. So, you know, that is on for Thursday immediately. I'm doing Jurassic Park 2 The Chaos Continues this week as well. And, like, this is one of my whims. Because you guys probably know, I just kind of go on vibes when it comes to what I want to stream. You know, I don't pay attention to what's popular or what's going to get me views. I just stream whatever the hell I want to. You've got a bit of yellow on his mouth guard there. Let me just take that off. Oh. Be careful with that. Pop just a dab of that back on. Yep, there we go.
Looks pretty good. So the next thing is going to be going back over the flesh with some Berserker Bloodshade now. Small detail and standard brush for this. Go.
Yeah, Berserker Bloodshade is nice and versatile for this sort of stuff. Okay. Yeah, I mean, so far this is actually coming out, like, I would say... Oh, hang on a minute. No, I've missed some bits again. Hold on. Got too excitable. There we go.
Okay, there we go. Oh no, Baggy Cremation got banned for being a clanker.
Well, that's unfortunate for them. Right, okay. The Berserker Bloodshade, we don't want to really wash this over. What we want to do here is we're going to splotch it, right? So the point here is we're trying to make the flesh look really uncomfortable and sore. I mean, there's a couple of pustules which we'll be going to in sort of finer details soon. We should probably start doing some of the tubes as well, huh? And we also want to gribble some of this around the mouth. There's going to be some more stuff to go on there soon. But for now, the Bloodshade is kind of like the main thing to start off the mouth with. So it just looks a bit moist, a bit crunchy.
When I do my open mouth hauler, I'm going to try and get a model to like actually put into its mouth so it's being dragged in and just make it look really, really foul. Okay. I am now going to do some of the tubing. So tubing I have a blend for. I said blend, it's kind of like 2 layers. Oops. So the first one, we need speed paint purple alchemy. I really like this as a paint for anything that's like a tube or fleshy, you know, like especially the tubes on, say, bloat drones. Is really nice for those. Oh, excuse me a moment, guys. Oh my word, I had to let out the nastiest ass fart of the day.
Do you see me, Papa Nurgle? Are you proud of me? Okay. Yeah, so you can see how that's just kind of... it's like a lurid, fleshy, intestinal pink, right? And then we want to do the same over here. And there are going to be some more layers to make this look much more infected. But this is the same thing I do on my Plague Marines with like any of their tubing and such as that. Okay, so yeah, that could dry for a minute. Okay. Right, so what's next? I think the next thing is we want to do just a we want to do just a tad smidge of lead belcher around the multi-melter. I'm going to need to get some more lead belcher soon. I mean, the thing is, lead belcher is so absolutely disgustingly viscous that you don't really need to use very much of it. Like, you can just dab, 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 dab. Like that. Hopefully not spilling it. Okay. And we also want to do the eye lens as well.
Do we want to do the missiles in lead belt? I mean, they probably should have like a dab of it on her. Just give them a metallic base. Like that.
There's a few metallic bits on the back of here as well, which we're just gonna give a smidge of that too. Like this.
Okay. Let me have some coffee now. Okay. So, I think the next thing is we want to get some skeleton horde on the bones and the teeth. And then we can go over the purple trim again in... there's a blend I've got for that as well. Just to kind of wash over. Right, okay. Skeleton Horde is really good, by the way. Like, let me just show you another model I've used it on quite heavily. Like, this one I'm pretty proud of. But, like, look at those bones. This is from the Theltheus and the Tainted Cohort set. So this is the guy with the Bubotic Axe and the Storm Bolter.
Okay.
Is this? No, it's a Combi Bolter, isn't it? Not a Storm Bolter, it's a Combi Bolter for
Chaos. Yeah. Okay, so again, this we just want to wash over the top of these bits. And then again, over these. Like so.
be good. A few bits where the paint is still drying on the carapace, so we'll give that a minute. Now, one of the other things we're going to do is just like splotch a bit of skeleton horde on the multi-melter. There's a reason for this, which I'll show you guys in a minute. Okay. And just again, just gonna go over the teeth. Inside of the mouth as well. Right, okay. Purple trim next. This is going a lot more quickly than I thought it would, to be honest. Okay, there's a couple of other bits we need to some blood belcher on, actually. So, again, I'm just going to do that before we proceed onwards. Where did my blood belcher go? Here it is. Oh, let's push my backpack in place. Okay. Oh, that's almost popped out of its handle, though. Yeah, it's actually these little vents on the side we want to be doing. Just like that. I want to kind of give it the impression that they're welded through the skin. But also the skin is kind of like growing on top of it. Then this little vent down the side. Okay. Okay. Like that. Okay. Right, that looks pretty good to me. You're heading out in 15 minutes. No worries, wife. I'll pop down and say bye to you when you go. Wah. Look, our baby. We gave birth to him together. Yippee! We want a bit more skeleton horde again. Basically for the same reason as before, right? So we just want to dap that onto those. I know the lead belcher's not quite dried off yet, but that's fine. This is just to kind of give a kind of rusting effect. Okay. Right, we want to do a purple layer now. And for this, we have... which one is it? It's this one, yeah. We've got Purple Swan speed paint, right? So I'm going to do a dap of that. And then it's a 1 to 2 mix with speed paint pastel lavender. Oh shit! I knocked it over. Oh boy. We salvaged that just about. I knocked the handle with my meaty hand, and it fell. Not my best moment, I'll be honest. We all good? No damage? No, he's a... I mean, he's like, what? He's T9, isn't he? I think. I should know this.
mean, Miffy would know this better than me, but... let's see. What have you given us? Tough, yeah, T9, 10 wound. So, I mean, he's, he might have taken a couple of wounds there, but it'll be fine. Right, okay. Now, where were we? We're going over the purple trim now. Yeah, so again, this comes out as like a very dark, sort of, sort of royal purple sort of colour. I think we need the other brush for this, really, but... We'll do this one, this bit in with this brush. And then we switch over to the highlight brush for the other bits. Yeah, Skeleton Horde really does make those protrusions pop. Okay. Ooh. Sorry, I had to fart again. I'm pretty sure Twitch bans people for doing that. Like, if they actually just do it on stream. Pretty sure it comes under the sexual content guidelines, and if you want to read into why, I'm not prepared to. I want to know. This bit is just really to enhance and enforce that purple. And I think it does a pretty damn good job. But the blend, it took me a while to get. So when I was actually creating this blend, it definitely took a few tries to get it right. Once I had got it right, you know, it was just like, yeah, this is the one. It's also really, really good for, like, Death Shroud capes and stuff. Because the whole theme with the Death Shroud is they're the same scheme as the Blight Lords, but they're just kind of more elite and a bit more involved. Okay. Bit more in there. Yep, now we can do the fine trim. I lost my train of thought when I was talking about Ground Zero earlier, didn't I? I think this is just a really solid year for indie games generally. Oh, a bit of bruising there, but that's okay. Because it just comes out kind of looking like, you know, muck. Because he's a little bit clean at the minute. Okay. Yeah, looks pretty decent. Into the back as well. Hey, how you doing? You like Iron Pallid Bone, the alternative to Skeleton Horde? I'll keep that in mind. I really like Skeleton Horde. Also, apologies that I missed your message. As you can probably tell, I'm getting far too into this. Oops, too much. And that's fine. We're going to be like throwing some blood shades on this later. Okay, there we go.
I'm gonna have to just pop off for a moment, guys. I just need to go and see wife out. So here's one I made earlier. Okay, give me a minute, right? Okay, we're back. Whew. We're back to the first part of the OST. It's like a set of 30-minute extended tracks. Who was it who put these together again? Lloyd Dunamis is the guy who extended all these. Right, okay, so the trim is done. He's still looking a little bit clean, isn't he? He's still looking a little bit too clean, so we're going to dirty him up in a bit. But the next thing we're going to do is, you see all of these pustules, we're going to make these absolutely disgusting, right? So, one of my new paints is coming in here. This is Speed Paint Blinding Light. The colour scheme I've got, as I said, for my my lords, named characters, and probably some of my demons is white with a kind of like lilac and yellow trim scheme. So this is going to be interesting. I've not used this paint yet, so we just want to just dab a bit there. Right, that's too much on the brush.
Okay. It's actually kind of sad, you know, because I hadn't heard this track until today. I played dual randomness, but like that was back when I was basically playing everything with the OST off, because it was just easier for me to, you know, because I was like working or whatever. Not that I play gacha games when I'm working. Please understand. Okay, and then there as well. Now, whether this comes out white or not, I don't know. It might just lighten things ever so slightly. It feels almost, I mean, it feels more like it's a grey than a white, to be honest, but... Put some onto the islands as well, just because we want to... The missiles as well, I think. We want to make sure that the eye lens is really kind of... The eye lens really pops, and then the missile tips as well. Okay. We've also got the aiming reticle and the multi-melter. Okay. Yeah, it's just like those 4 big spots, isn't it, this guy's got? Okay.
What do you think about with Flesh Blend Heart? Do you think he looks infected? Does he look like nice and kind of like, you know? I'm fast. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's an easy model to paint. To be fair, we need to dirty him up, but yeah, he's surprisingly done for how long we've been at this, which means more time to put into the details, right? We need to pop him off his base as well and do some more stuff to the underside, but we're leaving that kind of like until last. So we'll come to that no doubt quite shortly. But for now, to get his spots looking really gross, there's a method, right? So what we want to do is we're going to go around those with some Gilliman flesh, right? So what we do is this. We just want to dab around the spots with this. And the idea here is we want to make the spots seem like they're really inflamed. They're just about to burst and just release a torrent of goo everywhere. Like this. Oh, too much. Hold on. There we go. Thankfully, it's quite easy to control this paint. So if you get too much on, you can just like get the excess off, and then just kind of dab, 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 dab. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty gross. Okay, now, this is where it's going to get fun. So we want to get the pastel yellow back out. That's maize yellow. That's not pastel yellow at all. Here it is. And we are just going to dab a bit of the pastel yellow on top of where we put that white. Okay. Okay. So like there. I do kind of miss Girls Frontline, you know. Like, as far as gachas went, it definitely was the one with the storyline. Okay. And then we flip it over. There's 2 more over on this side.
Yeah, people keep on going about like how Nike, Goddess of War, is like, oh my god, it's so dark and all that. And it's like, well, did you never play Girls Frontline? I remember all of us like collectively shat the bed when Chapter 6 in that game dropped, and we're just like, oh my god, what just happened? It was really just like one of those moments of storytelling where I just lost my collective shit a little bit, you know? I just pooed it ever so slightly. Right, there we go. Yeah, it's a shame that the Shorts feed video... The problem is the Shorts feed video wouldn't have actually gone out as a short, so that's a big shame. It has to be vertical Shorts feed. And like that's normally where you get like new viewers in through. You know, you can kind of tempt them over onto the horizontal side. So, okay, that's now done. So now what we want to do is we're going to, once that's dried a bit, we're going to dab over that with some Plague Bearer flesh. But before we do that, let's re-gribble his tubes. And we can do his eye lens as well. So for this, we want... I've knocked him over again. Excuse me, ignore that. That didn't just happen. We've got Speed Paint Poppy Red. Again, I am very fond of the Speed Paint stuff. It's just so good. Really makes this so much easier. It makes it like a lot less intimidating as well. Okay. So we don't need much of this, at least not to begin with. So for his eye lens, we're just gonna dab, 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 dab. Okay. And there will be a bit more of that to go on there shortly. Okay, so the eye lens is glowing, and then we want to gribble up his tubes. There's one more step to gribbling the tubes as well, which is, as with the spots, we're basically going to give them another little dosage of Plague Bearer flesh. But what I like to do with these like tubes and stuff is because they look kind of like guts, I like to make them look just like intestines, basically. They're not meant to be. They're meant to be like, you know, power supplies and whatnot, but I just think it looks much nastier if they're just like guts. Okay. Splotch that a bit. Okay. We've missed a bit of purple there. Hold on. Need to rectify that post haste. That's not ideal. Okay, we need to actually... oh, almost did it again. Teehee. I'm not going to knock him over, I promise. Yeah, there's a little bit of purple that we've missed there. This side too, actually. Okay, and the other thing we didn't do was we didn't go back over these bits with this, so it's a good opportunity while I'm thinking on it. Okay. Yep. Okay. Right, now Plague Bearer Flesh again. Okay. And then again, we just want to kind of gribble at the pustules with this. Like at and around them. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Looking pretty decent so far. We do need to do something about that multi-melter though. So, I'm going to try some of this, which I bought too, which is Green Soft World, Metal Colour, Steampunk Copper. Now, let's hope that, like my Earthwash, which is here, and you can see like how much of that bottle actually went, hopefully this is not going to explode all over me. So, let's just dab a bit out. Nope, we're good.
No exploding today. Right, okay.
Yeah, so let's just go over the melter barrel with this. Okay. We can gribble that back up further in a minute. Wow, that flesh is looking absolutely putrid. Ugh. That looks absolutely fucking disgusting. I love it. That's why we enjoy Nurgle, because he's just gross. Okay. So I think now we want to do a bit more red on that eye lens. So let me just doop. Okay. And then we want the highlight brush. This one. Yep. Okay. Now this is going to be delicate, so let me just pull my mic over here so I can lean in a bit more. Okay. We also want to do a bit on that multi-melter targeting reticule. The missiles we want to put a bit of colour onto, so I'm going to get to that in just a second because I've got an idea for that. But for now I need this, which is my super detail. Yes. looking decent.
Okay. I think we probably want to do the end of the melter barrel in black, you know. Thankfully, I do have black.
We can put that in here where the base went, or the primer, I should say.
I mean, this is literally just for like 8 bits.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That flesh looks so horrible. It's actually gross. Okay, so the missiles now.
So I've got like an idea. So, I think it would be some of this, which is
Warpstone glow layer.
how thick is that? That is very thick, actually. Okay. Again, we just want to
Highlight the missile tips with this. My logic here is that the missiles are full of gribble. Mm-hmm. Too much on that. Okay. Mm-hmm. I kind of like the green for the missile tips, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Missile tips are done. And we need to do one more thing to his islands. I'm going to use this one for that. This is metallic white. Let's see how this comes out. Just for a dot on the islands, that's all. Oh wow, that needs a very significant shake. Hold on. Is that activated now? Should be. That I want to come out. Oh, I see. So It's one of these, is it? Okay. How do I do this? Looks like I need to stab it through or something. Please. I don't know if I've got anything to open this, you know. It's got like the cap is basically sealed with something. I need something sharp to poke it out with. Ah, that's curious. I mean, do I have anything? Jeez, nope. I don't think I've got anything for that. Right. I have to abandon that one for now then. Okay. Let's just do the not holy light, we want the blinding light. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that before. I think that's what must have happened with that that earth wash though. Is it was basically, I think that's why it exploded on me. Because it was all sealed up. And then what's happened is
There we go. Just a tad there for reflection. Yeah, I think what must have happened is that it's just exploded because
I tried to force it out of the thing without the thing actually being open, so it's just blown up. Whoops. Okay, so
in terms of his top carapace,
there's only one more thing we need to do there before we give him a minute and then pop him off base and do the underside, which is we just need
to go over these bones with a smidgen of Bloodbelcher. Just like that. These detail brushes are really cool.
Okay. Go. So now we give that a moment, and then what we're going to do is we're going to flip him over, and we're going to ming up the undercarriage. So let's just pop him out of there. So we need to basically dry him, and then like he's going to come off of the base, right? Okay. Starting to get kind of hungry. Right, how's that doing? Dry? I'm getting there. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So this is the delicate part of the operation. He's actually getting Bro out of his mount. There we go. See, I only base him to basically make it easier to do the top side. So the underside, we need to gribble up some flesh firstly. So we'll do that. So we need to
Give a little bit of Rakath on that.
Okay. So I mean, it's not much that we need on there. Which brush? I think this one. Yes, this is the one.
coming out unusually liquidy. Better. Okay. Mm-hmm. Just a nice little dollop of that. Yep.
Okay. So once that dries, we're going to put some plague bearer flesh there again. But the other thing we're going to do is we need to use a bit of Gilman flesh to start making some rust on the bottom. So this is pretty straightforward. This is just kind of like, we're going to splotch over again. Just like this. And the thing about this is we can do this while the other bit dries as well. Okay. We are going to be washing this at the end as well. Just in case anyone's wondering. But yeah, I actually find that Gilman flesh, like, splotched over lead belcher, really does give a nice rusty metal effect. Okay. So that bit's still drying, so let's just turn it around a moment so it gets more of a chance to. Okay. Whew, starting to come together. Hey Zach, how we doing, man? Not too bad. We are making brother for the Gribbly. Yeah, we're currently painting his ass. We're painting his bottom. I should do a cover of Connection. Imagine. Is telling the story together, crying, lying on cold ground. I'm getting a bit emotional. I have a confession. My confession is that when I played Jack Connection, I cried at the end of that because holy shit, how do you make a villain so tragic, but also a gacha character? I don't get how they managed it, but well, that's what happened. Because like the villain at the end of the story wasn't doing things out of being evil. They just wanted to not exist anymore.
And they could have been saved, and they just chose no. I just don't want to be party to this world anymore. You know. It was horrible. So let's gribble up these. But yeah, I genuinely cried, like, at the end of that event. I suppose that's a mark a good story song, though, isn't it? Well, I wish I could go back to telling my own stories. People who were wanting me to get my next book out have just kind of given up on me at this stage. I don't really blame them. I'm going to put some Skeleton Horde on this, and then we're going to go over this specific bit with Plague Bearer Flesh in a moment. And then we're also going to splotch some skeleton horde onto the undercarriage. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, it's hey, that anime, how you doing? I saved the piece. Yes, I actually managed to pull it together. So it's coming together really well
At the moment, we're painting his ass right now. There's a little bit of a gap that you can still see at the end of his armor there, but it's like, you know, it's enough that we can just kind of get away with it. But this is where we're up to at the minute. We're painting the underside. The top is gross. We need to do as well our wash. We've actually done the missile tips in green. His eye has a bit of reflection. His melter has, you know, some character to it. I'm really happy with how this is coming out so far. I'm really, really pleased with this. I feel like I'm learning a lot this stream as well.
So we're just going to let this bit dry off. And the other thing is, I mean, the underside is going to get washed with
Agrax Earthshade. What I like to do is I don't like doing an Agrax wash over the top of everything because that kind of doesn't work for me. But if I do an Agrax wash, like these ones, let me just show you these ones. So, this one, for example, it has got Agrax Earthshade and Null Oil on it. But if you look at the back, you can see that the Agrax is from the waist down and everything else on top is Null Oil. So, it's a bit blurred, that close, but yeah. That's how I did that one. Yeah, and he came out pretty good. Right, okay, that bit's dried enough for us to... No, it's not quite yet, no. Hold on.
I think we can probably wick away some of that excess, though.
Right, so we've got a dollop plague bear flesh over this bit now. And we want that to kind of be like covering these arms as well a little bit.
What the fuck was that? Oh, was that my headphone cable? Alright, fair enough.
Okay. We'll dab an ever so slight more higher amount over the body as well. Too much. There we are. Okay. I want that to look extra disgusting. Let's also, I think, then dab just a bit over the copper here. And a bit in the missile rack.
Hey, Confidential, how you doing? Thank you, thank you. I hope you're having a good one. Thanks for coming back, by the way. I hope you're having a good day. I'm painting Warhammer today, and we're actually almost done. Which is kind of surprising. I thought it was going to take us... I mean, we've been going for 2 3/4. I penciled in 3.5 hours for today's stream.
So I thought that's probably about what we'd need. So I've not been too far wrong. Yeah, I mean, mostly we just need... we need to let this bit dry off.
And then we can do the Earth Shade.
And I kind of want to do the Earth Shade first. just so that that can run down, run off. So where is my Earth Shade? There it is. There's my Egrex Earth Shade, and then my Null Oil. I genuinely thought Null Oil was just some kind of dumbass meme. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. Null Oil is kind of a meme, but at the same time, I see now why it's a meme, because it genuinely does make stuff better. So we're just waiting for this to dry off, and then we can give it a wash, and yeah, it should be sweet. Okay. Yeah, I've been having so much fun painting these things recently. Oh, ow, 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 what the hell is that? Is that a big spot on my arm? The grandfather has blessed me. Oh, that one, yeah, that was a good one. Ow, where the hell did that come from? Well, Grandfather No just blessed me. One of the VTubers we watched having a birthday stream. Oh, it's Penny, isn't it? Yes. Well, I tell you what, Zach, we're almost, we'll be finished up relatively soon, so I'm going to do a soft redirect into Penny's stream anyway. I can't do like an active redirect, so I don't have the ability yet, but what if I tutor him a little? Maybe XC. I ain't saying no. Let's put it that way. Actually, I kind of like this, because the way it's kind of come out is it looks like the tail is like cracking out of the carapace, so even though it's an imperfect joint, it's actually come out looking better than I think it had a right to. Yeah, this thing looks absolutely gross. And we just need to wash it down with some stuff and make it look a bit worse. I think there's another thing I'm gonna do as like a finishing touch to it, which is put some more like Berserker Bloodshade and like gore around the mouth. But we're gonna do the wash first. So where's my Grax? Okay. Standard brush. Yeah. While we're painting, this is a Myphitic Blight-Hauler. It's a cute little griddly. Look at him. What happens when you have a full army? I'd probably get another army, I guess. But yeah, look at this thing. This looks disgusting. Oh. There's no wrong way to paint a Chaos Faction unit. You know what? That's absolutely true. They're just very versatile like that, aren't they? So, let's do the Earth Shade, shall we? So for this, we just want to hit like the lower mechanical portions with the Earth Shade. We don't want to go really anywhere else, because everywhere else we are going to hit with the Null Oil. It's surprising how much I've been enjoying the painting of Warhammer, you know. Like, as someone who was genuinely intimidated by it, to begin with. Like, I was rubbish at art back at school. You know, I all of my artistic side is musical artisticness, right? So actually having an outlet like this is very unknown to me. Okay. The Earth Shade is done. Yeah, Chaos is like a really fun faction. Because, like Zach says, there's no wrong way to paint them. You know, you can just do whatever. I mean, that's kind of the point of the faction as well, I guess, is you can just do whatever you want. you know,
because the Emperor's a little bitch. So fuck that guy. You know, we're just going to spread farts and toots everywhere.
Yippee.
Right?
Right, now for the meme. The non-oil bath. You know what? I was speaking to the guy up at the hobby store today, and like I mentioned about Null Oil, and like the immediate joke that comes when you mention Null Oil is, have you ever seen the remake of Dune? So not the original David Lynch one from '84, but like we're talking the remade one from Paul French name. I don't know. The Paul Villeneuve or something like that, is it? And Baron Harkonnen just like at one point just pops up from this bath of just like gooey viscous oil, and it's like genuinely sometimes that's what it feels like, slapping Null Oil onto stuff, but it really does actually like enhance stuff. You have to control it just a little bit, but in terms of dirtying up the miniature, you know, like it really does add a lot of depth very quickly. Just like a layer of grime, and, you know, makes it look worn and not fresh. I mean, especially for Death Guard, that's kind of important, because the whole thing is like rotten decay. Yeah. Okay. My fingers are all nullny now, but that's fine. A little bit of blending between the two. Yeah. Now we just need to
Gribble up his gob a little bit. Sorry, I just mute my mic and fart again then. I do not want to get banned by Twitch for being the guy who farts on stream, because I'm pretty sure they would do that. Okay. But at the same time, you know, I have to like not keep it in because, you know, Grandfather Nurgle approves of farting. So that's the whole thing, right?
Okay. So the first thing we're going to do to gribble up his gob is like a single drop of purple alchemy.
Right. I'm going to slather that around the teeth tips. Okay.
Yeah, that is looking absolutely gross. So I'm just going to splash this across the teeth tips to kind of gore him up. And then I also want to kind of have, like, the inside of the mouth kind of gory as well. Okay.
I think we can pop him back on the base now as well. There we go. That makes this next bit a little easier. Get this. Okay. Right, so he's back in the painting handle again.
Yeah, that was really gross.
Really shiny and just horrible. Gribbly, even. But look how it infected he looks at the back. Oh.
Once that null oil kind of dries on, that is going to look just absolutely gross. Okay, so the last thing we do then is we need our Berserker Bloodshade again. Just this one. Okay. And this one we do straight from the bottle. Like so. Okay. We're just going to gribble up all of his mouth with this. Yeah, he looks like he's just like absolutely ripped something into shreds and just eaten the meat. It's exactly the vibe I was going for. Right, okay. I think it's safe to say I would consider this done. You know, the null oil is still drying off, but it's added like a layer of shine to it that makes it look slimy. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it has marred the yellow finish a bit, but like we said, it's Death Guard. That's kind of what you want to go for. The missiles being green was a good choice. Just having a look, see if there's any other bits we want to quickly go over. No, I think we can say he is done. Hey, what do we reckon, guys? What do we reckon? Do you think I can, like, hire him to, like, moderate a Discord or something for me? Don't tell Miffy I made that joke, please. I don't want to get banned. I don't want Miffy to ban me. Kind of scared me a bit, actually. I think it's just because as far as, like, Ellie's mods go, Miffy seems to be the one who just, like, has the highest propensity to just, like, outright kill someone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we need to do something about that base at the back, but, you know, that's okay. But yeah. It genuinely looks like slimy at the back. Oh. Absolutely disgusting. Exactly what Grandpapa Noble wants. Okay, guys, well, seeing as we have finished painting the model now, I'm going to go get some food, so I'm really, really, really hungry. I haven't eaten since about 3 o'clock. All it was like a protein bar. Give me a second whilst I have a... I just need to find a link to something real quick. Yeah, we're doing a soft redirect to Penge for her birthday, so drop a link into her stream there. So if you fancy popping over and giving her some love, then, you know, that would be neat. You know, I'd be happy if people went on to say hi to her. I'm not streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day off. At the moment, it's my day off anyway. I'm probably going to keep it as a day off because I kind of need one. But let me just pull up my Sketty Bobs for next week, and I'll let you know what's coming. So, in fact, I should probably drag this over here. There we go. So, on Monday, I'm playing Super Metroid Depths of Criteria. Hey there, Holly. I'm afraid we're just finishing up. We finished the paint job, so I'm going to get myself some food. But there is a link just above your comment to Penny Puffball's birthday stream, and I would highly encourage you to go give her some love. So when I'm finished streaming,
go become a puffster and touch tips with the other puffsters. Yes. Monday is Super Metroid Depths of Criteria, so we're going to try and finish that. Tuesday, I thought we'd play some Stardew Valley again, carry on with the Road to Perfection, starting on Year 2. On Wednesday, I'm playing a SNES platformer, so we're playing Jurassic Park 2 The Chaos Continues. On Thursday, Ground Zero finally releases, and I am very hyped for that game. Retro survival horror, based in a South Korea which has been hit by a meteor and everyone's mutated from some horrible stuff inside that meteor. On Friday, I haven't decided yet, because Ace Attorney kind of pissed me off the other day. I might like have, I don't know, a week off it or something, see how I go. And then on Saturday, we're going to finish off Code Veronica. So, fun fact in Greek myth, the sirens were never cannibals. Oh. Well, I didn't get to see everything there, but, you know, it does sound kind of neat. Sounds like a fun week. Thank you. So, like I said, there it is. And the Odyssey Corps for sales and around the state to specifically be Rossi and Shriveled, not in an Eastern state. Interesting. I need to look into Greek myth more. Actually, Friday, there is a game that came out called Nova Rome, which I've been playing a lot of recently, which is like a Roman city builder, so I might play that on Friday. Yeah, that sounds good, actually. Okay, in the meantime, though, guys, I'm going to go and get some photos taken of this Blight-Hauler. I'm going to get myself some food, and then I am going to rest up for the rest of the day. So, I will see you guys very soon. Make sure to have a good rest of your day. Please also, like we said, go give Penny some love as well, because she's live. It's her birthday. It's her first birthday as Penny Puffballs, so it would be good if people went and, you know, gave some support. But I am going to go and get myself some fried chicken now. So until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one, and I will hopefully see you on Monday. Until then.